Hey everybody, today is my birthday, so on Henry's HowTos, I'm going to show you how to make an ultimate chocolate cake. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is just into a small pot, fill it about quarter way with water and set it to the boil. Then on top we're going to put a stainless steel bowl with 250 grams of dark chocolate. Now make sure you use a good quality chocolate. Now it's also very important to make sure the bottom of the bowl doesn't touch the water, so make sure it's larger. And you just want to leave that there and let it melt by itself, which will take about 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so in the meantime we'll start working on our batter. So just into a stainless steel bowl, we'll start off with 250 grams of softened butter. And to this we'll add 1 cup of brown sugar. And just a pinch of salt. Now if you've got a cake stand, use that. I'm just going to use handheld beaters. We just want to blend this all together. Okay, so after beating the butter and sugar together, we'll just go back to our chocolate. As you can see, it's melted. So what we're going to do is turn the heat off. And we'll take the bowl off, as we need it to cool down a bit before we put it into our mix. So set it aside. Okay, so what we're going to do now is add about a tablespoon of good quality cocoa powder. Then to this we'll add a teaspoon of baking powder and 2 tablespoons of honey, and next we'll add 4 eggs. Now the reason I'm adding so many eggs is it will make it more moist, and nothing beats a moist chocolate cake. So once again, we'll blend this all together. Okay, so once your chocolate has cooled down, you want to start pouring it all into your batter. And just gently fold it through. There's no need to mix it. Now, in the meantime, set your oven to 160 degrees Celsius so you can get that preheated. Okay, so now we want to add about 1 1/3 cup of plain flour. So we'll add that in gradually. So we'll start off with a 1/3 cup. Now just gently fold this through. It works better than if you vigorously mix it. Okay, so our batter's ready. So we'll set that aside and bring a springform pan. So I'm just going to use a standard springform pan. So just lightly oil it or butter it. I'm just using an oil spray as it's a neutral flavor. And all we want to do is pour our batter in. And we just want to even out the batter, so just shake it to the side a few times. Just like that. So it's nice and central now. Doesn't have to be well covered, the heat will just make it completely level anyway. Okay, so once your oven's preheated, just go ahead and put your cake tin into the oven. And on the top shelf, now you want to leave it in there between 45 minutes to about 55 minutes, just depending on your oven. Okay, so I'm using a gas oven, so they fairly work faster than electric. So it's been 45 minutes now, so we'll go ahead and have a look. Okay, so that's how it looks now. It looks fairly baked, so we'll just check it. So get a small knife or a skewer, and you want to push it in the biggest part. So right here. So as you can see, it's come out completely clean. That means it's ready. So we'll turn the oven off now. And we'll just push it back in, and just let it rest in there with the door open. Okay, so I've just taken the cake out and put it into the fridge to cool down quickly. So in the meantime, we'll get started on the decorations. Now, obviously you can do whatever you want. I'm just going to do something very simple, but very strong on the chocolate. So just into a stainless steel bowl, we'll start off with about 200 grams of dark chocolate. Try to crush it up like so, just to make it easier to melt. And with this, we're going to add about 50 grams of unsalted butter. So what we need to do with this is, once again, put it into on top of a small pot and melt it down. But just like we did before with the melting of the chocolate for the cake, so we'll just leave it there for about 10 minutes or 15 minutes. But you want to make sure to continuously stir it as well. Now, while we're waiting for our chocolate to melt, we're going to use that to completely cover the cake in chocolate. So on top of that, we're going to decorate it too. So what I'm going to do is just shave some chocolate, and we can top our cake off with this. So it's very easy to do this. You can use a grater if you like, but I find it's just easier with a knife. All you want to do is hold the knife from both ends like that, and just drag it across your chocolate like that. And be very careful not to cut yourself either. And you're left with shavings like that. So I'm going to make about, say, 1 cup of those. So that's how all our shavings look. So as I said, you can do this with white chocolate if you... So it's slowly starting to melt. So with this, use a whisk, because we want to get it evenly melted. We don't want any lumps or anything when we top our cake. Okay, so our chocolate is perfectly melted now. So we'll turn off our heat. And you just want to let this rest for a few minutes. If we put it straight onto the cake, it's just going to slide off. It's not going to give it a smooth coverage. So let it cool down just a touch. Okay, so I brought our cake back out of the fridge. It's perfectly cooled down. It's just a touch warm, but that's fine. Now, when I do my cake decorating, I like to keep it in the tin, just because it just makes it easy to distribute everything on top. Now, the only thing we're going to do is release the spring, just to open up the sides, because we want the chocolate to go down the sides too. So our chocolate's here. Just make sure you scrape the sides as well on everything, so we can get good use of all the chocolate. So go ahead and pour it all on top. Just like that. Once it's all out, all we want to do is try to evenly spread it like that. So now, what we'll do is sprinkle our shaved chocolate on top, like that. And there we have it. Simple as that. all we need to do now is put it back into the fridge, just for about, I'd say half an hour, so everything strengthens back up. Okay, so it's been half an hour, just taking it back out of the fridge. So now we can go ahead and release the tin. So you want to move it around a little first, just in case the chocolate is stuck. And we just want to take it off like that. So now obviously we need to take a slice out. So because I do this in a restaurant, I like to actually cut the entire cake, just so when we do serve it, all the portions are the same. So all you want to do, don't cut all the way through, just like 10% of the way. You just want to cut in half like that. Now into quarters. And now each of these quarters we're going to half again. Just like that. So that gives us 8 slices. So now we'll take one out and see how it's turned out. So look at that, how nice and moist does that look? And that would just go perfect with ice cream right now. But guys, simple as that. That's how I make my chocolate cake and I serve in my restaurant. It's very simple, very popular, and it's just amazing. And that's my birthday cake. I hope you like that, guys. Please like and subscribe. If you've got any comments, suggestions, leave them at the bottom. And I'll see you all next week.